This is War Brief Daily for August 15th. Overnight, Ukraine reached deep into Russia's Baltic energy infrastructure, the Donetsk front stayed at high combat tempo, and southern Lebanon saw continued but still thinly documented Israeli activity. Let's keep this clean. First, the headline. Ust-Luga near St. Petersburg. Ukraine's military says it struck Novatek's gas-condensate processing complex in an overnight drone operation. Russian authorities do not confirm that target description. They do confirm the air defense engagement. Leningrad Oblast Governor Alexander Drozdenko says 54 drones were shot down over the region and damage was recorded at the port. Local reporting also described a fire in the oil terminal area. So here's the confirmed picture. A large drone raid, Russian intercepts, and damage at Ust-Luga. What remains unconfirmed is exactly what was hit, how many drones got through, and whether Novatek's processing capacity was affected. That distinction matters. A fire at an energy port does not automatically mean strategic output has stopped. Damage assessment, repair time, and export disruption are the real measures. But Ust-Luga is a major Baltic energy hub. Ukraine is forcing Russia to spend air defense capacity protecting critical infrastructure hundreds of kilometers from the front. That's the headline. Here's what actually matters: reach versus resilience, and that changes the math. Second, the Donetsk front. Ukraine's general staff reports 222 combat engagements in its latest 24-hour count, with the heaviest pressure on the Kostiantynivka axis. Ukrainian forces say they repelled 29 Russian assaults there, with additional fighting in the North Slobozhanshchina and Kursk operational areas. These are Ukrainian official figures, not independently audited counts. Still, they show Russia maintaining a high operational tempo across multiple axes. No confirmed territorial breakthrough or decisive positional change emerged in this reporting window. Separate Ukrainian local reporting says Russian guided aerial bombs struck Kramatorsk, killing 1 person and injuring 15. The timing and target details have not been independently corroborated, but the operational pattern is familiar. Russia continues using glide bombs to threaten urban rear areas, transport routes, and logistics nodes behind the front. Third, southern Lebanon. Regional reporting relaying Lebanon's national news agency says Israeli forces conducted attacks across the south on Thursday and Friday. The Friday activity may fall inside this window, but target coordinates, weapon types, casualty figures, and precise timing are not yet reliable enough to call this a fully characterized strike cycle. Treat it as an emerging local report, not evidence of a broader campaign. What it does indicate is that cross-border military activity remains active despite the ceasefire framework. Elsewhere, the evidence picture is quiet. No independently verified new missile, drone, maritime, or Hormuz incident was established in this window. No discrete new operational development was confirmed in Sudan, the Sahel, or the Indo-Pacific. We're not going to recycle old incidents just to fill a global brief. What to watch next? Russian damage assessments and satellite imagery from Ust-Luga, whether port disruption proves localized or sustained. Confirmed positional changes around Kostiantynivka, and official Israeli or Lebanese statements clarifying the southern Lebanon strikes. For the Red Sea and Hormuz, watch maritime advisories and verified vessel tracking data, not claims moving faster than the evidence. That's your War Brief Daily for August 15th. No spin, no noise, just intel.